Tony will have 1 minute. He is preparing himself mentally for memorizing 2 sentences.
We can
5
see it
minutes for
forever.
prepared mentally.
Yes. And you will be preparing yourself mentally to listen to this only once. So here it intervenes a lot your comprehension, not only about the teacher, because teachers are designed, we are designed, I'm sorry to say this, but God designed us to be teachers. But we are designed to speak in a very clear and understandable way. Yes? And when, well, Tony's a teacher, but when you have a student telling them, they're like, oh my God, I don't understand, repeat, repeat, repeat. So that's when you practice this. Please stop talking, relax, breathe, and listen. Just copy. What do you do in dictation? How do you recommend your students to do dictation? I tell them, generally I tell them, hey, when your partner, or if I'm talking and I'm dictating, you repeat the words to yourself and then copy them. Because our short-term memory is short, super short. So it's volatile.
Yeah.
If you say, parangalikutirimícuaro, and there is always one that says, parangat qué? And I'm like, you cannot repeat. But I didn't copy. Not my business. But if you repeat to yourself, you will get the ideas. Okay? So what do you recommend in this activity? I will tell Tony to read the sentences. Every 3 or 4 words, he should stop to have you copy and then continue. But he will say it only once. Okay? Ready. He will be ready now. Tony. Stop.
I didn't understand. I didn't understand what I had to do.
It's hard,
Listen,
it's hard
Tony.
to memorize
Tony.
information. Yes. Okay.
You will say this only every 3 or 4 words. You will stop, so they copy.
Okay.
You will say only once. If they say rather what? Oh my God! You're like my
You were playing
student.
outside with the cleaning guy.
He was playing. He was trying to read their food. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So listen. Every 3 or 4 words, make a pause. Have them copy. You remember to repeat for yourselves. Avoid distractions and relax. Every 3 or 4 words. Okay? Like a freshman 1 student.
Yeah.
Okay? 1, 2, 3, go. Only once. Do not interrupt. 1, 2, 3.
Rather than paying attention to every word, people think about what they need to understand. And look for that information. Listening for specific information quite similar.
You're cheating.
No, I know. To the reading skill of scanning.
Don't cheat.
I didn't remember that.
Okay. So please share with your partner next door. Share your notes to see if you're missing any word. Speak English. Share. Share together, yes? Running dictation. The thing is that you're not running, we're not working in groups. But if you're working in groups, I give the same group the same paper. And the group that finishes first, that's the winner. Yes, see that? Yes, they have to come back. Yeah, but we're gonna do we're not gonna do it. But yes, that's the running part. But I do it like more for us. Yeah. Okay. I have a thing to clarify. I have adapted this activity because the running dictation is when you put these on the board,
And then you copy
and then the 2 groups, 1 member from each group runs to the board, reads, and then goes back to their group in their ear because the other group will hear. The group that finishes first wins. So every 2 minutes I change the paper and put another one. And when they finish the whole paragraph, essay, anything that I have put, the winner will be the one that has the less spelling mistakes, the less, and they have the most words, etc., etc., etc. Okay? I just adapted this today because we won't be running. And we have a lot of cables here, so the activity was to aim to be running, but let's do it like normally. Now, the first paragraph talks about what? Who can tell me?
Repetition to the general message.
Uh-huh. Very good, yes.
Instead of focusing on details.
Yes, correct. We're listening and talking about what? Listening for main ideas or listening for specific details?
For main ideas.
Listening for main ideas, correct. Now, this is the disambiguation. This is the next paragraph. I will have just one last victim, that will be Jimmy, and then the others I will read them for you, okay? Let's do another practice with Jimmy.
Good.
Jimmy, come.
Jimmy will make it better.
You have an extra napkin.
You have to memorize.
Yeah.
Anthony never memorized.
Yeah.
He read from the paper.
I know, but the last sentence.
You,
No,
anyway,
you
you read.
read the two last sentences.
Anyway, you read.
The last sentence.
But if the student doesn't have good memory, for example, they can paraphrase what they just have read.
No, because they
have to-
will, yeah, they have
The
to.
exact
Obviously,
words.
I select things that they have already seen. I'm not going to put them into reading a paragraph. They read sentences. Sometimes, for example, when I want to discuss a question, a discussion question for the predicting or the think about pre-listening activity, I write the question and I say, okay, come, you're going to do the running dictation. So if they come, they read and then go, and when they finish with the same question they have just dictated their partners, we discuss the question. So we do many activities with one question.
One question.
So it's not necessarily a paragraph. I just made it a little bit more challenging for us.
What do you say no?
A little bit, I said. Just a little bit. Acceptably challenging. And I didn't make it run because in the running process you forget everything.
It's true. Some words fail there. Words fail.
You can cheat like Tony did. No,
No, try not to.
I will give you an extra napkin because you did better than Tony. I already know that. Okay, listen please to Jimmy. Avoid distractions. Tony, please your cell phone.
Sorry.
1, 2, 3. Every 3 or 4 words. Okay?
In real life, comma,
Toma, Tony, in your face.
Jack.
people always know why they are listening. Hear it. In class, comma, learners need to know that. Listening for a specific information is not understanding everything and using what you need. It is understanding what you need and catching that.
Okay, please discuss with your partner if you missed any word that Jimmy probably said and you didn't get it.
Always know why the list is why. Learners need to know that listening for specific information is not understanding everything. And use it with the need.
Okay, so it says in real life, people always know why they are listening. In class, the learners need to know too. Listening for specific information isn't understanding everything and using what you need. It's understanding what you need and catching that. Okay? So that is a paragraph from a specific details, listening to a specific details. Now, honestly, the problem with our students when they are doing a listening for specific details exercise, their problem is that they're trying to translate word by word. That kills the whole activity process. How can we make, I would like to know your insight on this, so we can wrap up our class for now, the second session. How could we reinforce the L2 practice, the L2 use, rather than translation of L1 to L2, that means Spanish to English? How could we make or have our students not use the mother tongue too much in a listening exercise? How?
Encouraging them to associate the word with the context, so what's around, so probably they will get better understanding of what the word means, for example, what the word means. For example.
Right, thank you, Angel. Yes, that's a good idea. In fact, your exercise is basically about that. Getting the meaning from the context. Yes, that helps not to translate, because they translate because they don't know the word, and they want to know everything. Their anxiety is killing them, and they want to know everything. What else it would be another good idea that you do in your class?
Have a backup word for
Yes.
every word.
A synonym?
Yes.
Synonym? Yes, correct. I like that idea. Synonyms always work with the students, always. We have to educate students not to look for definitions, rather to use synonyms. The thesaurus books. There are thesaurus dictionaries, because what they have is translators in their cell phones, but we should suggest thesaurus dictionaries for their cell phones. Okay? Those thesaurus include synonyms and antonyms. So from one word, you have 2 or 3 words that are similar that you could use in the same spot. Okay? How else could we avoid having our students translating from L1 to L2? What else? What would be another
follow
idea?
the sequence of what they're listening, because when they listen to something, usually in parts. So instead of like have the whole attention to the whole thing, so like to follow the sequence.
Okay.
To get the message of each part.
You mean with transition words, Carlitos?
No, she
No, no,
said
like
that
the
the
whole
order.
story?
The whole story, but little by little.
Okay.
Parts.
Get-
Not
I like that
not
idea.
to concentrate on
With the
the
whole
whole
thing.
thing, but
Scaffolding.
by parts.
Scaffolding the listening activity? Yeah, it's a great idea. Scaffolding, yes? Making them in little pieces. Little pieces, little pieces, little pieces, but the whole turns out to be a whole listening activity. Yes. Tony, you have any
That's
ideas?
what you said. Tell them not to concentrate on words.
Yes. It's
That's
just to
the
get
first
the main
place.
idea. Yes, correct.
But that training should be since the very beginning, because
Yeah.
we have from freshman 1 that got a certain amount of listening activities, and I have seen, talking about observations, that the transition activities, it's not working a lot at all, because when you are finishing one activity, you go directly to the listening without doing any pre-listening activities like discussion, like presenting the heading, like presenting a similar story about what you're going to listen and get familiar with the vocabulary. So that's why the students tend to understand every word and translate it, and it, it blocks them in the moment of answering questions or choosing the right answer. So that's why, since we are here being challenged with other type of high-level activities for listening, we should also start thinking about from the very beginning levels, because those are roots that we need to cut out, because it's really hard to take them out from the changing channel mentally to say that, okay, time to translate, I have to catch up. I didn't hear the last word, because they are focusing on the words instead of the whole content. So that's the very clear idea, to extend a little bit what Andrea had said.
Okay. Well, so summarizing what you should do or what is recommended for listening for specific information exercises, how to do it and what to teach our students in order to get them prepared for a test. I generally don't give them algorithm like do first, second, third, but give them suggestions. Give them, allow them to do this according to what they feel more comfortable with. If they feel more comfortable taking notes, let them take notes. It's not recommendable, but there is always one student that takes notes and does better than the ones that do not. It's something that doesn't apply for everyone. Remember, we have different types of intelligences. So the visuals would be very likely to want to take notes. Well, so I tell them read the instructions, read the questions, make sure you understand what you need to listen. For example, the WH words in questions, if it's a why, I will listen for a reason. I will listen to everything, but pay attention and be more aware of the reason. If I say aware, I will listen for a place. Try to hear everything, but pay attention if they mention something about it. And then suggest them not to take notes and just listen. It's just a suggestion. You cannot force your students and push them to not take notes. But yes,
Sorry for interrupting.
Yes,
Are you-
correct.
Are you going to send us that?
I
those
could
slides?
share this with you. Yes, no problem.
Thank
Yes,
you.
and the reading ones too. But
Yeah.
I think the reading ones are all in the worksheets. But I can share these with you. Yes.
Thank you.
So well, we're going to take a break now, Miss.
Yeah, please.
And after this,
Before
I will
continue
give
with
I will share with you a video activity. We're going to do the laptops and finish the last two parts of the listening. Okay? So let's wrap up here.